What is up, guys? KFC back here with another video. I'm going to kind of combine a lot of different videos into one. I wanted to go over some of the stuff that we read this morning in terms of tweaks that they are making to the game in the next update. But I thought, why not? Let's start off this video with a live attack on one of the Town Hall 8s. So I've actually taken on one of the lower Town Hall 8s because it is not called. I have not scouted it yet. I'm just going to go in and kind of see what happens. I am at currently, so a little bit of a background for those of you that are not in TGF Rising, my Town Hall 8 account. We do have a live attack, but it is on a Town Hall 7, so I'm not going to bother. My Town Hall 8 account has officially broken my own personal best in terms of records for 3 stars in a row. I have hit 26 3 stars in a row, so anything else is going to add to that personal best. So I'm going to go in here on 22. I am not going to scout it. I'm just going to hit the attack button. I have my traditional 36, 4, and 4, my double poison. So let's go ahead and see what this base has in store for us. So a little bit lower level stuff. Nothing is max, with the exception of the mortars. Mortars are max Town Hall 8, so that's fine. We got like this awkward thing up here that's going to have a few Teslas and some double bombs. So what I'm going to do, I'll grab a lure down here. I'll probably drop 3 hogs in that cannon just to take it out. Grab the CC lure, double poison, and then I'll Asian wall along that whole V, kind of this side and this side, and I'll drop my heals kind of accordingly. So YOLO, 1, 2, 3. In they go. Out comes the dragon and the loon. They're going to get this the CC out. Cannon goes down. I like to wait. Make sure I drop my poisons in the right spot. You'll notice, big no-no from me. I'm bringing a level 3 poison spell, but someone didn't read my Clan Council request when I requested a max one, so shame on them. So double poison's going to go down right here. Going to take out that dragon. I do have some corner huts. I'll get those going soon, but I'm going to spam Asian wall because all the cool kids do Asian walls and see what happens. Boom! Not technical at all. I'll drop my king up here to start tanking, get my heal spells ready. I will drop them roughly like here, and Clan Castle Hogs, and go in from the north. And I will use my last heal spell, I don't know, right here, I guess. Alright, so finally starting to trip some bombs. Let's go ahead and get my archers in the corners. Got that. 1, 1. And then up here, I got all my hogs going, so I'll just do like 1, 1. Alright, so I finally tripped that double there in the center. Not going to really make a difference. Got effective cleanup going all over the place here. So we're going to go to 27 3 stars in a row off of a YOLO attack, the way that I like to do them nowadays. Excuse me. So we are golden. So now I just got to awkwardly wait for these hogs to turn around, smack the king up, and then what I will do is if anyone goes live, I will catch it live, but primarily I'm just going to kind of talk into the video, make sure I get my king healed up, in terms of what I'm seeing in the kind of balanced notes, some thoughts for the clan, and yeah, we will call that a video. All right. So, got the 3-star in the bag. We do have a live attack going in, but unfortunately I missed it. Twex Prime going in on one of their top Town Hall 8s. I will go ahead and get ready for my next attack while I am at it. And then we will dive into these notes here from the update. And then in the meantime, I will also have attacks playing in the background from some others. So nothing surprising there. Let me just let people know that I'm recording. Spell coverage. All right, so let's go ahead and see if anyone kind of goes in here in the next few minutes. Meanwhile, let me go ahead and pull out these update notes here. I just want to kind of go kind of from top to bottom. I'll give the guys a few minutes to see if they want to go. So first things first, they did make some changes to Town Hall 11, primarily with the Grand Warden. So they're going to be reducing his ability range and his Eternal Tome ability, and so I do think that's a good change. I think his aura was a huge radius. We're going to watch Relic go in here live. I think this is just an attack for 2, though. Indeed, just has his king, so I'll kind of just keep talking. I will not narrate the raid. I'm going to keep talking about the update. His range was huge. Just in terms, you could literally, like, if you watch some of those Town Hall 11 attacks, they could drop a few golems, and then they drop their wizards and witches in behind, and then they just kind of drop all their heroes, and there was no kind of precision in terms of where they placed them. And that to me was just a really poor design. So hopefully the range is, I'd almost advocate for it to be like half the size. So this way you kind of have to make a decision. If you drop, kind of like as you see Relic's attack here, if he dropped golems on the top right side, maybe the Grand Warden, instead of being able to cover everything, he can only cover like one small section. So I do think that that's a good change. It is going to make Town Hall 11 for sure harder, but I've always been on the opposite side of the debate when it comes to these higher Town Hall levels, Town Hall 10, Town Hall 11. I know that everyone always advocates for balance and they want 3 stars to be more feasible, but ultimately, to me, it just doesn't matter as much as long as everyone's on the same playing field. I've always been more anti-modder than pro balance. So I think that's a good change for Town Hall 11. Some of the interesting ones, so Town Hall 10 changes. The Inferno Tower multi-mode will acquire new targets faster. So I think that's super interesting. I guess I never really noticed that it took a little bit to kind of transfer targets. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how it works. The explanation that Supercell gives here on their post is simply that for like witches and skeletons and stuff, when they kind of roast through a Larry, it takes them a little bit longer to switch those targets. So I certainly understand that. I think for bigger attacks, like people that are bringing like 5 golems and like 20 wizards to grab some Town Hall 10 2-stars, I don't think you're going to see as big of a change there. I don't think that that's going to do a whole lot, but happy to see that change made just in terms of those weenie rush type stuffs. Town Hall 10 and 11 players are less likely to find each other in matchmaking. I think that's fine. Town Hall 9 is definitely getting a lot of love this update, and I really think, I'm not sure what other YouTubers or some people are going to think about it, but I think that Town Hall 9 is actually going to go back to being one of the more balanced Town Halls, and let me explain why with some of these changes. Some of them don't really matter, so skeleton hit points have been reduced. I don't think that Go Wee Wee or any sort of witch-based strategy is dominant at Town Hall 9, so I don't think that those changes really do anything. They keep saying, they're effective against skeleton hordes now. The fact that the skeleton hit points will be reduced, so possibly instead of a lower level archer tower taking 2 shots to take down a Larry, it'll only take 1. But like I said, by and large, witches are not a big part of the metagame right now. It's pretty much all Valks and Hogs and Loons. So not a huge change there. And the same thing I can say, good job, by the way, Relic, with that 2-star. A very, very high percentage 2-star on that Town Hall 9. Let me just go ahead and make sure, see if anyone else wants to go. And poison for Onyx. So the second piece of the skeleton kind of nerf is that skeleton spawn from witches no longer trigger traps. And so some people have said, like, oh, well, this is like nerfing witches because those Larrys will now not be able to go out there and trigger a bomb. But ultimately, as long as the golem that's out in front triggers the bomb, I actually think that that's fine, because that means that the Larrys just get to do more tanking. So I actually don't think that that's as big of a nerf as much as it's kind of this awkward, I'm not sure if it's a buff or a nerf. So those are the stuff that we got for Town Hall 9s with skeletons. And then Goblin level 6 has been moved to Town Hall 9. That's great. But here's where the real meat kind of comes into play here. The Expos and Wizard Towers. So Expos levels 2 to 4, their damage is going to increase, so that now they're more powerful DPS-wise than an Archer Tower. And then so to tag team onto that, let me scroll down where the Wizard Towers levels 5 through 9 hit points have increased, and then even greater at later levels. So if we look at some Town Hall 9 bases right now, let's just go ahead and grab this base right here and look at this wizard tower, level 7. Hit points are currently 930, and according to the update notes, they are going to be more closely aligned with cannon and archer tower hit point buffs. So this archer tower is 890, but the archer towers were always the weaker of all those defenses. Let's go ahead and look at a cannon maybe as an example. This cannon's got 1060, so they're going to give the wizard tower a little bit of a buff. And so even if that goes up to like 1060 or so, that just means that the momentum of hog attacks at Town Hall 9 are going to kind of greatly be affected. So I'm really, really interested now to see how both of those changes. Let's go ahead and watch one of their guys go in our Town Hall 8. Let's see if I can get a bunch of live attacks on this video as opposed to covering some Last Wars. So Dragon attack coming in here. So with the Expo now dealing more damage, you might start seeing kill squads go down quicker. You'll see hogs go down quicker. So both of those changes are actually very, very impactful. Obviously, they're not only they're impactful to both ground and air. So luckily for air guys, I do not believe that the wizard tower buff is going to matter because by and large, air guys. It takes 2 bomb drops to take out cannons and archer towers anyway. I don't see them buffing wizard towers to the point that you would need to commit an extra balloon, so not huge concern there. But the Expo dealing extra damage, there's been tons of raids where I see the Expos kind of lock on to lava hounds or balloons like late game, and if they do just a little bit more damage, they might kind of start burning through troops a lot quicker, and so it'll be interesting to see how both of those kind of make their stay at Town Hall 9. And then let's do one more thing at Town Hall. It's going to affect all Town Halls, but we'll talk about in terms of Town Hall 9, 10, and 11 impact in general. The extra 30 seconds is gone. So all of these raids that we've been doing with really, really long queen walks, they're all going to kind of go away. So basically what I'm seeing is that the last 3 months, and everything that we have done, Hibby, let's go ahead and watch this. It's going to be a 1-star, calling it now. So this is basically a 4 corners base, but at Town Hall 8 level. So he should know how to do this. So let's see if we can get it done here. But yeah, that whole extra 30 seconds thing is, I really feel like what that's created is basically the time clash as an environment from December to now in March is going to be completely unlike any other Clash experience that anyone will ever have. Because having 3 minutes and 30 seconds for a war attack is something that only happened in that very small month. And I find that to be really, really interesting, just in terms of the impact that's going to have for players that played before, and then played during, and then played after. Because I feel like a lot of the strategies that we've gotten used to, they do take a little bit longer to develop. So now all of a sudden we're being forced to kind of shift our mindset to being more up-tempo, more fast-paced. How do I incorporate my queen walks now? So now we kind of go back to that old rule of thumb, that kind of my queen walk can only take like 45 to 50 seconds as opposed to nowadays where we were kind of really heavy on that, a minute and a half. And I'm trying to keep a straight face. This Hibby just absolutely fucks this rate up. I mean, just awful. I feel for you, man. I don't know how else to help you. I'd start watching, maybe start hitting a little bit lower Town Hall 8, start getting your confidence up. You're obviously hitting the top Town Hall 8 here. So obviously just good for you to always kind of be calling those tough bases, but possible that just hitting some lower bases will kind of get your confidence going. Just didn't look like your kill squad accomplished what it was hoping. I'm not sure. We'll go ahead and stay on this for a second, see if we grab, if he grabs that star. I believe he does. And then we will switch over to some of Rising's, some of their recent wars as I continue along this list here. I hope he doesn't 0-star. That would be a dagger. I'd have to change the password all over again. And yeah. So as soon as we see that one or those swords start clashing, I will continue along my review here of Supercell's list. God damn, Hibby, you're going to take like the full 3 minutes just to grab a 1. For the love of God. The ultimate roast just happening right in front of him. I want to go watch the other attack that's live, but I have to know if you got the 1-star or not. Oh, sweet Mary Jesus. Hey, he got the 1-star at the last second. Thank Christ. All right. I'll let this keep playing in the background. So, yeah, so Town Hall 9, if we now look at like what the update has given us, it hasn't given us really any offensive buffs, right? The Wizard Towers have gotten a hit point buff. The Expos have gotten a DPS buff. We're losing 30 seconds. And then the one that I missed, too, the poison spell, if the troops are idle, so if you lure the poison, or if you lure the Clan Castle into Dragon and 2 balloons, and you were to drop a poison spell on them and have nothing else going on the rest of the map, those troops are going to move out of the poison spell. So I'm not sure how that's going to work in terms of what direction they move. If they're completely idle, I'm not sure if they move closer to the center or if they'll just move to the closest kind of corner of the poison spell. So that'll certainly be interesting to watch. I don't believe like if the CC is a couple of wizards and some archers. I think that the poison will probably burn through those quick enough. But Dragon and 2 Loons could certainly see a rise in play. You might see 6 Loons come back. That was always one of my favorite compositions, just in terms of the Golem strategies that come into play. So really, really good. All 4 of those changes to Town Hall 9 are changes that make the defense better than the offense. So I think that Town Hall 8 or 9 is going to go back to being one of the more balanced town halls that Clash of Clans has. Let's go ahead and watch some attacks here. Chief Sebastian, you asked for your attack to be recorded. I think it was this one. It might have been 4. We'll just watch some of Chief Sebastian's attacks. I know he sent me a message hoping that he would be featured. So yeah. I think that the biggest change is going to be the 30 seconds secretly. I think a lot of people are looking at the double poison. I think a lot of people are looking at the Wizard Tower getting the HP buff as big ones. I think that the 30 seconds, though, is just huge, just in terms of you almost have to relearn how to attack in a very up-tempo sort of way. So really, really excited to see those changes. Let's keep scrolling down here. Start getting to Town Hall 8 change, 8 plus. So the Valkyrie is basically getting a little bit of a retool. So her AI is still going to work the same way, where the Valkyrie's damage is going to be increased, but her hit points are going to be decreased. And so I find that to be a very interesting. I don't know if it's good or bad now. I think the fact that her damage is increased is great. And there's also something down here that says the Valkyrie starts attacking much faster after reaching her target. And so you'll notice in some Valkyrie attacks where they kind of like run up and they kind of position themselves perfectly in between, like in this base that we're watching, like a Dark Elixir Storage and an Expo, they'd run all the way into the middle, stop, and then they do their first axe swing. So it'll be interesting to see how they go a little faster. But the hit points being decreased, it really depends, I feel like, on how many hit points they lose. Because if the hit points are reduced to the point where they can run into a double and get obliterated, I think that takes them from viable to not viable, even with the increased damage and the attacking faster. I think that she has to be able to survive a double under a heal spell in order for her to not be completely and utterly nerfed. So I'm interested to see kind of some of the more the numbers here. And then there were some other smaller things. The Dark Spells brewing time has been decreased to 10 minutes. Elixir Spells, 20 minutes. All that's great. The extra 30 seconds. And then the Revenge attacks. So if you go into the defense log and you press the Revenge button, those stars will now count towards your daily star bonus, which is great. And then there are a couple of smaller kind of quality of life changes. Tapping an entry in the builder summary will allow you to see kind of how all your builders are working. The resource storages are going to have more. I just realized that Chief Sebastian took this attack down with some Laloon as opposed to the traditional Hog approach. So nice attack, Sebastian, although it seems a little bit less efficient than the Hog approach that we're used to. The restore storages have a more visual states to indicate more clearly how full or empty they are, so I think that's great. overall, I'm seeing a lot of things that I'm liking with this update. I know a couple of our Town Hall 10s think that we kind of got screwed a little bit. But once again, I think that the unfortunate part is just that the mindset. Where's Chief Sebastian's other attack? Chief Sebastian. Um, I think the mindset of players that 3 stars, 3 starring in war is the way to achieve like some perfect balance is a little inaccurate. I think that there could be a very good way to achieve balance that doesn't require us having to 3 star because it'll just change our perspective, right? And that's the one thing that I wish that some of the other bigger YouTubers would just realize is that sure, if it's a low level Town Hall 10, we're able to go in and 3 star it because, Inferno Tower 1s can be taken out by 2 Bolt 7s and an Earthquake, so that's awesome. But once you get to like those max Town Hall 10s, I don't know that max Town Hall 10 offense should be able to 3 star max Town Hall 10 defense, just like max Town Hall 9 offense really shouldn't be able to 3 max Town Hall 9 defense. I've always been more of a defensive minded player though, so maybe I just have a defensive bias. But if they can create an environment where the war kind of comes down to who can destroy more of a Town Hall 10, if it comes down to like tiebreakers, right? So imagine a scenario where you have 20 max Town Hall 10s on one team and 20 max Town Hall 10s on another. I don't mind an environment where the score ends up being 40-40 and who wins the war is decided by who simply does more damage, like who puts in the attack that gets 80, 81, 82% 2-star. This real big push towards we need to be able to 3-star is just one that I've never quite understood. If the entire environment is based around getting high percentage 2 stars, I think that the elite war community should just rally around that and just be, so we run into go wipe clans that burn out around 52, 53%. Why don't you just make it so that, the elite war clans are not the ones that are 3-starring to 2-starring, but they're the ones that are getting 80% to 50%. So just a little rant from me there, just in terms of just mentality. And then watch the end of Chief Sebastian's attack here, and then we'll kind of talk about these war changes. So they've changed the clan war matchmaking, and they've kind of put out there kind of how the algorithm kind of works. So about 50% is offense, 50% is defense. We're going to go ahead and give Gobbles a look here. Gobbles, not a Patreon supporter, but he did donate to my YouTube channel. So much appreciated. Anytime a donation comes in, it allows me to sit here for an afternoon and record for an hour. So I definitely do appreciate it. So let's go ahead and watch Gobbles as I go over this final point to the update that was released today. Clash with Ass actually released a video on the war algorithm. I will link it for you guys down in the description below if you hadn't got a chance to watch it yet. But effectively what he said was that developers have confirmed to him that about 50% of your weight is attributed to offense and 50% is attributed to defense. So to me, I just feel like we're strong enough as a clan, and especially with all these buffs that are coming to Town Hall 9, I would love for our Town Hall 8.5s to just stop the 0.5 mentality. I would love to just make it more difficult on our opponents to 3-star us. And the same for guys that are new at Town Hall 10, so like Sandman and Son of Jay. I haven't checked out their bases in a while, but I'm just, once you get your heroes to kind of that 35-35, you grab Hound 3, maybe Golem 5, just drop your Infernos. I mean, it's amazing for farming because I was sitting on 8 million gold and like 7.5 million elixir the other day, and I was without a shield for like 17 hours, and then no one comes in at you when you have both your Infernos up. So they're just great for farming. And then for war, I think we should just start making... I don't think we've ever run into an opponent that 3s as consistently as Tread Easy is able to do. So just making it really, really harder on them would be great. So some of the other changes that they made, war sizes 35 vs 35 and 45 vs 45 have been removed. Not a huge concern for us. Most of our wars kind of cap out around 25 v 25. The new stat war win streak will appear in clan profiles. So I think this will help too, just in terms of like kind of giving us an idea of how good our opponent is. Sometimes we match opponents that have 255 wins, but for whatever reason, we just absolutely like slaughter them. So like once we get an opponent that's got 255 wins, not to say that if they have like a 1 or a 2 on the war win streak, they're clearly going to be pushovers. but it might start giving us a little bit more of an indication as to the quality of the opponent. And it's the same thing as if we get an opponent that has a 40, 50, 60 match win streak, we know we kind of have to be on our A game. So some other things, the number of remaining war attacks can be seen from the clan war button when outside of the war map. So cool, I think. All replays can be viewed directly from the My Team, Enemy Team summaries and war details. So that'll be a very nice improvement, especially for my YouTube recording. So that's fantastic. And finally, the star button has been replaced with a bigger war details button on the bottom right of the war map. And so that is simply referring to what you see when you, I think when you watch a replay, I guess, or when you're doing the actual attack, I guess, it'll pop up with. So let me watch this replay real quick. So this, no, there's no button down there. But yeah, so whatever, I'm not sure what button they're talking about. I guess it's for when you're live attacking, what that button looks like. So I think that all these changes have been productive. I'm interested to see what other YouTubers have to say about it. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the live attack video. I hope you enjoyed some of the Ninja Live stuff, and I hope you enjoyed watching some of the attacks from Rising. So I just want to give my quick thoughts on the update. I'm going to shoot this video out here tonight for you guys. Let me know in the comment section. I promised in my 100 subscriber special video that I'd be trying to do a better job of engaging the YouTube community in the comment section. So let me know what you think of the new update notes in the comment section below. And I will catch you guys next time.